Alright guys, so exposed, Amazon are reselling returned items as new. So why am I making a video about this? Why am I prodding the beast that is Amazon? Well, the reason being is it costs me negative reviews and Amazon won't remove them. So I'm just going to expose actually what's going on, because the more people that are aware of this situation, then the more chance Amazon will either change their methods or actually respect the settings they have in Seller Central, which I'll show you later on in the video. So the proof for this, let's go through it. Over the last few months I've sold about 1,200 products, and of which I've had about 20 custom returns, which is a pretty good return rate. I'm going to show you that. You can see this. This is a date range from January last year to the January this year. Obviously I started selling in September 2018, and you can see there my first return was on October the 13th on my birthday. That's good news. And yeah, had 20 so far. So 20 returns I was pretty happy with. And you can see here every one of these unit return to inventory except for that one. So I've only had a single product returned to me. The rest of them Amazon have packaged up and resold, and you can see the various reasons, the actual detailed reasons. If you hovered over these in Seller Central, it tells you the reasons, but I can't show you because it will give away what my product is. But you can see some of these. These really shouldn't have been resold to customers. I don't want Amazon reselling any return. I don't want to run that risk. I'd rather any return come back to me and just be disposed of. That's what I want to happen, and that's the settings I've got in Seller Central, and I'll show you that in a second. But what they're doing is they are getting these products, they're taking them back, they're classing them as good enough to sell, and they're putting them straight back into inventory and reselling them. And I'm not the only one that's been affected by this issue. Lots of sellers have. You know, I put a comment on a guy called Josh Gibbons. He's a 16-year-old or 17 now doing FBA. So if you're young and doing FBA, it's worth checking out his channel. I put a comment on there about my experience. And there was another FBA seller called Jansen Smith, who's doing really well. He's got a good channel as well, and he's having exactly the same issue. He's got like 10 cases open with Seller Central about this. So I received a negative review last week, and the person said this item had clearly used, it was dirty. And now I know all of my products arrive at Amazon brand new, seal wrap, you know, shrink wrap, so I know that they aren't dirty. So it must have been a return that they've sent back out. So I contacted Amazon. I said, look, firstly, stop selling goods that are used, but also then contacted them separately to raise the issue of the review, saying that this is not a fair review of the product, because this is due to Amazon and their processes of keep sending out returned products. And they come back and said, no, this is the review about the product, so we cannot remove this. This is not against our terms of service. So that was extremely frustrating, and because I've got nowhere else to go, all I can do is share it with you guys, and hopefully with enough exposure they'll change their methods and stop reselling if we ask them to. Because if you go into Seller Central, so this is the one product that's been returned. So just to cover this first, you can see there from the same date period I've had one returned that came back to me. So what they do is twice a month they'll process any returns and send them back to me, and I've had one product sent back to me out of 20 returns. So what can you do to avoid the negative reviews? Well, the first thing, and this is what I did literally a week after I started selling, I logged into Seller Central. There's a setting called Furbishing, and to get to that you hover over the settings link in the top right corner of Seller Central. That brings up a drop down, and you go down to the Fulfilment by Amazon section. Now when that opens up, you can scroll down to a section called Furbishing Settings, and make sure that is set to disabled, so Amazon don't try and refurbish any of your products. So sometimes you might get a product come back in bad state, they'll try and refurbish it, or they'll class it's good enough to sell, and then they'll put it back into inventory. So I've had this disabled since day one to try and stop them from furbishing my products, but they've still resold all but one of them. And then underneath you have the settings. You can either have them, you can have Amazon dispose of them, which costs like 50p I think, or they can send them back to you for a fraction more. So I normally get them sent back to me. I say normally, they've only sent one back, so that I can then acquire some spares. So if a customer got in contact, I've got spare accessories and stuff from a product that I can then send on. The other method that I'm going to start doing, I'm going to develop one of these two methods. I'm going to develop a single-use packaging, so that if a product does get returned to Amazon, there is no way they can resell it because the packaging's been destroyed. So either a tear-open bag or something like that. That's one method I might start using. Or the other method, if it's not suitable for something like a bag, if it's a box, then I might put, like, you get these tamper-proof stickers. So if you bought like a mobile phone or some sort of high-end electronic, you get these tamper-proof stickers. Something like that, so if someone's opened the box, it's clearly open, then there's no way Amazon then should theoretically resell that product. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, raise some awareness, also ensure that everyone's got their settings optimized and considers this when designing their packaging and labels or stickers on their products, to make sure that they don't allow Amazon to resell their products, because if it costs you negative reviews that Amazon then won't subsequently removed, it's not good for your product. So this is why I wanted to share it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and also hit that thumbs up button.